Fast forward 5, 10 years from now. It's the end of a long 3 days, and it's the last day fading into night. As we say goodbyes to our new friends and colleagues, I'm thinking of how proud I am of my team. We came as a group, a mob really, taking up most of the first 3 rows at the conference. And still, many of us didn't know anything. We came as newbies, and some of us came as veterans, even though we can still always learn more. And did I mention I'm proud of my team? I'm watching as they take notes. Well, I'm remembering that I was watching as they took notes and had brainstorms and light bulb moments, ideas floating. Some will weather and others fade, but all are valid. And they're welcomed and they're cherished. And I'm just so proud. We go outside and the buzzes of voices fill the air, the smell of, something cooking, spicy, maybe it's a meat. And of course, I'm holding a drink in my hand, and if you know me at all, it's definitely champagne. And we're all dressed to the nines because it's traditional and idonious to dress up on the last day of a convention in all the nines, because often we do the video testimonials and you kind of want to make it to those clips. And now as this day wraps up, it's time for us to take the town. And we'll do it by starlight or barlight. And this night, well, it's not in Bangkok. That's rather in Austin, Texas. And as you can tell, it's not predicated on a free-for-all party, but rather a convention. And in this case, it's an Ask Live marketing convention. And my team, I've talked about my team, how proud I am of them. And my team is actually my employees, my advisors, and me. And we've spent years building up to this point. We've spent years working to get where we are right now. And we know that when we leave this convention, we'll spend the next few weeks implementing everything we just learned in this convention that we did. Because that is the vision. I'll read to you my vision. My vision is to power to empower, to build a global team of employees/entrepreneurs where we attend and implement business building workshops together and launch our products throughout the world. You might wonder why I would call an employee an employee/entrepreneur. Let me explain that to you. How would you feel if you were hired to do anything you want? Now, many of you, I know this room, and I know a lot of you, well, I know most of you very well, and some of you I'm just getting to know, but I do know that most of you have very satisfying careers, or you're working towards satisfying careers. You might be in an educational space right now, but you're in a place where you know that what you're doing makes a difference in the world. That is not something that everyone can say. And in fact, even those with great high degrees and education that anyone would just die for, even a lot of those people end up in jobs that don't utilize their talents, their powers, their love, and their passions. And we end up just doing what we can to make a living, and then having a family, and then taking care of that family. So again, imagine that you were just hired to do anything you want. And that's the business model of my vision. When I hire employees, yes, there will be dedicated times where they're working for me. I mean, that's the point of having employees. But there will also be dedicated time that they are working on their own vision, their own business. Maybe it's a little side hustle they always dreamed of doing. Maybe it's a business that will end up taking them away from me, and they'll go off and jump into their own opportunity. Or maybe it'll be a business that pays them well, but they still work for me. Because here's the thing, they're getting paid to create that business. They come into work, and some of the time they're working for me, and the rest of the time they're working for themselves. And they're getting paid for that whole time, the whole thing. And when we go to conventions, it's all expense paid. And I don't know, how many of you have ever been to a convention? Hands up. Okay, quite a bit of us. Now, when we come home from the convention, how many of us, we're on a natural high. We're excited about the things we learn, and then Monday happens and it's time to get to work. We got to get going. It's done. Yeah, raise your hand if that's ever happened. And then you don't really get to implement the things you learned at the convention. Well, my business model includes those next several weeks focusing on everything we learned, launching that business, launching that product, launching the service that they just came up with at this convention. And the great thing is that not only are they being paid, but I'm being paid, because I'll have a stake in every single one of those businesses as they move forward. Now, don't think it's like a bad thing. Think Shark Tank. It's not that I'm trying to take advantage. Everyone knows it's coming in, but it builds a global economy within our group. And then we can go out and help the world, because it is time to equalize the wealth in our world. It is time to equalize the opportunities. And to me, I'm thinking there's only really one way that can happen. Bear with me. I want to be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens. I want to be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens. I want to be in the room where it happens. I want to be in the room where it happens. And that is my vision. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.